Good morning
Good afternoon.
and good evening to everyone tuning in. Welcome to INCRadio, Orange County, California. I'm one of the hosts today. I'm Julian,
And I'm Alyssa.
and our topic for today will be from books to baking. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started with our main discussion. We would like to bring our special guest onto the set with us. Round of
Hi.
applause. Hello, hello. If you could introduce yourself to us.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Trinidad.
Hello, hello, Jennifer. Do you mind telling us what local congregation you're from and what brings you here today on INC Radio, Jennifer?
I'm from the locale of Long Beach, which is not too far away from here. And coming because I like to bake cookies and baked goods, and I like to share that with people.
Awesome. So our topic for today is called From Books to Baking. So is there anything that you kind of wanted to share? Actually, our good friend Andrew is someone who helped come up with this topic title.
Okay.
So is there any relevance from, the books to baking part?
So when I was little, my mom would have so many books around the house, and some of them would be cooking cookbooks, and I would look through the pictures and say, "This looks interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to try this." And she wouldn't make those, so ended up making them myself.
Okay.
So I started baking mostly in the summer, whenever school was out, just trying out recipes.
Awesome. So that's where the inspiration of the title comes from. I think we actually do have pictures to share as well. If we could have our VTech for today. All right. So as we go through the pictures, we'll continue with our discussion.
So I know you mentioned that you kind of went through your mom's cookbooks. Did you have anything that really helped you kind of get started with your journey in baking?
Mostly following the instructions. I think a lot of times you'll hear that baking is science and cooking is passion or cooking is
Right.
art. And for me, I like having a guide.
Hmm.
But I will say that once you get used to baking, it's not that enclosed. You can actually do riffs off of a recipe. You just need to know, if I use this, what would happen to the recipe? Will the texture change? Will
Right.
the taste change? Will the shape change? So um, I'm a little bit nerdy about things like that. So I'm like, okay, I don't have this ingredient. I know I can't skip it. What can I substitute? And the internet has been really great, because I'm like, I'll just go in like, okay, what are the measurement conversions?
Hmm.
I don't have buttermilk. What can I use to
Instead.
substitute for
Right.
this? So
Wow.
that's some of the things that, aside from the cookbooks, having those measurements in the back, just following the instructions, and then after getting used to it, learning what I can change or adjust.
Awesome. So even though you like having, a guide, and kind of instructions, you're still very open to kind of adventuring and experimenting with, like you said, different ingredients. Like, what was that like for you? Like, was that kind of hard to adjust to, or did you kind of just go along with it, as you uh, continued baking?
I usually have a purpose for why I'm changing it. For example, I had one phase where I'm like, I'm not using corn syrup on anything. And so what can I use instead of corn syrup? So I looked for honey. I looked for recipes that had that. Um, uh, we have a lot of diabetics in my family.
Um,
So sometimes the request would be, hey, I like this thing. Can you make it less sweet? And so finding substitutes for that. Usually I don't go wild on the experimentation.
yeah.
It's kind of like
Controlled.
control,
Right.
because I don't I like this, but can you change it a little bit? And
Hmm.
then just knowing that um, a recipe doesn't have to be set in stone. You
Yeah.
can make it your own.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Very, very cool. I think we did go through the pictures already. If we can actually bring it up one more time, and maybe you can, kind of talk us through the pictures
Sure.
that we have here today. So I think this is the first picture. Is this a sneak peek of what you were making
Yes.
for us?
So I think we're going to do the reveal later on. So I won't say what that is in the bowl, but I like to get my ingredients set up ahead of time, so
Okay.
I'm not scrambling to get them
Right.
in the middle of mixing. And like huge game changer for me in the last couple of years has been using a digital scale
Okay.
instead of measuring everything by cup.
Yeah.
So just putting the bowl there, and I can adjust it and say, okay, this is how much I need for this. So you don't need to actually use scoops for everything.
Right.
That has been really amazing.
Helpful. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm not a baker myself, but is it one of those scales where like you can change the type of measurement
Yes.
that it does?
Ooh, that's
So
really
I
cool.
use that at work, and like you said, it's very, very helpful.
I'm like, why did I not know about
Exactly,
this earlier?
right? Right. It makes everything a lot easier to do, even
Yeah.
if you're not baking like
Yeah.
myself. So
Yeah.
that's really, really cool. Let's maybe check out the next picture, the next slide.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So
I'm hungry.
okay. So that's actually one of the recipes that I first found on the internet.
Okay.
So a long time ago, the internet was not popular. It didn't become popular until I was at the tail end of college, which thank goodness, because I think I would have been so distracted.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it wasn't available yet.
I know.
So when I started using it, I would use it for my papers, and then when there was downtime, I would look up recipes. And one of the recipes I found was an old school Los Angeles Unified School District coffee cake recipe.
Ooh, coffee cake.
So,
So good.
yeah, there's a certain range of people when you say LAUSD coffee cake, it does the like that Pixar movie where you just suddenly go back into your
childhood.
childhood.
Right. Okay.
And that recipe was probably one of my most prized recipes for a long, long time. During the pandemic, one of the radio stations actually published it. So I'm like, okay, well, then I can share it with everyone.
Oh.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I know we've gotten like a sneak peek of some yummy treats on our slideshow, but do you have any treats you like making a lot, like some of your favorites?
I like making cookies just because I can make the dough like on the weekend, and my mom would freeze it or she would use it throughout the week. I'm still working and I work in office, and this habit actually started during the pandemic where because she had to stay at home, she would get really bored. So I would make cookie dough and then she would bake it and send it out to people. I like cookies also because you can ship it to ship them out. They can freeze really well.
Right.
It's a good treat to have when you're just craving something.
True.
So.
Awesome. Well, along with, Alyssa's last question with some of your favorite treats, I'm curious, like what are kind of some of like the longest treats to make and what are like the shortest to make, if you could say?
I think that doing cakes for me, I don't do that too often because it's more work intensive because I like cakes that have icing. So you have to bake the cakes first.
And
While they're baking, you can do the icing, but then I'm like, okay, now I have to get these ingredients out and look up this recipe for the icing. They taste really good though. So those for me take a longer time.
And what about like on the other end of it, the shorter things to make, cookies?
The cookies mostly because I've done them so often. I
Okay.
have a good system of how to do it.
Got it.
what are some of the cookies you make? I'm like a cookie like lover.
Chocolate chip cookies,
Classic.
oatmeal cookies. I've done shortbread. I've done the peanut butter cookies also. But again, it usually depends upon request what people want, so I'll make whatever they're requesting.
Got it.
So
Well,
hungry.
I know we have some treats over there. We don't know
Mhm.
just quite yet what exactly they are. It'll be a great surprise for us later. But just going back to something that you mentioned earlier, Jennifer, along with how you kind of grew up baking with your mom, right? So if you don't mind sharing, like what are, some fond memories that you have growing up, that are related to baking?
So my mom actually doesn't do the baking. She leaves that all to me.
Right.
That's she does a lot of the cooking, and that became more of my specialty. But I think being able to share the end product with people, being able to share my recipes with maybe relatives who are far away, and like, hey, I sent this recipe to you. Did you get to try it out? Did you like it?
Hmm.
Whenever my relatives would visit, like the younger kids, sometimes we'll do that together. It's just make cookies together, make other baked goods. And so having the time together and explaining like why do we have to add this here? Why do we have to do that? Explaining that too has been kind of fun.
Oh,
Okay.
that's very nice to hear. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's interesting that you also mentioned that this is something that you started picking up also during the pandemic, right? I know a lot of people, you know, because they were at home, right? That's also when a lot of other people
Yeah.
were getting into their hobbies as well. I don't think Alyssa was baking during the pandemic, but
I tried.
Were you the coffee person?
Oh, how did you know?
there were actually there were a lot of people doing that, huh?
Mhm. Yeah, the whipped coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The
the
dalgona.
dalgona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried that, but my tools when I'm baking, like the KitchenAid mixers, kind of scare me. The
Oh.
even the hand mixers, kind of I'm like too many machines, too many machines.
Yeah.
So I'm used to just hand mixing things. So with the Dalgona coffee, I remember when they were whipping, I'm like, wait, that's too much whipping. I don't think it will ever get to that frothy look.
Awesome.
Speaking of, kitchen utensils,
Mhm.
do you have a favorite kitchen utensil or appliance?
I like the digital scale, the
Digital
one that was
scale.
shown
Digital
in there.
scale.
I have started using a wireless mixer for some of them because I, after a while, if you mix too much, you can actually do some damage to yourself. So I've been doing that, but while using that, I've started to learn. Okay, some things really do need to be hand mixed because
mixed.
of the way that the air
Mhm.
goes into the dough, it
Mhm.
changes the texture. So that's been
Wow.
interesting to learn too.
I didn't even know that there was a wireless mixer. Did you know?
No.
I knew about the digital scale.
No.
That thing that helps. That helps a lot for
Yeah,
sure.
the cordless mixers. I think I just got it last end of the year.
Recently.
So I'm like,
Cool.
oh, okay, this is a game changer.
That's so awesome. And thank you also for sharing the pictures kind of behind the scenes of
Sure.
what you're able to do. We actually do have some special greetings that we would like to read from some of our viewers and listeners. So from Tiffany Canlas and Shelly Canlas, they said, "Hi Jennifer, your baked goods are delicious." Wow, that's awesome. Do you know who they are? or-
I actually have something for them in my car right
Oh,
after
there we
this.
go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What great timing. And then also from Caesar Trinidad, good morning from the local of Long Beach. Also from Alma from I believe from the local of Riverside. I love ube flavored baked goods. I also
Ooh.
love ube. Do you make anything with ube by any chance?
I don't do ube
No
yet.
ube.
I know that it's a lot of the flavorings. I'm always afraid I might put too much.
Too much. I
So,
know. Sometimes
um,
it can be like very strong,
yeah.
right?
I have a
Got it.
cousin in San Jose. She loves ube. Everything purple. I'll send her like, hey, there's a recipe here. There's a
Right.
baked good here to try out.
Awesome, awesome. We also have some greetings from the ministers and their families that are joining us today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and for tuning in to INCRadio, Orange County, California. I think it's now time for us to segue over to our next part of our broadcast. So we'll head on over to our next set. All right, and we're back. We didn't go away for too long, but we're going to move on to the next portion of our broadcast. So, this is going to be a very fun activity for Alyssa and I because we're very hungry. Don't tell us exactly
Okay.
what's in here, but we know you have something for us. Is that right, Jennifer?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
So, what we're going to be doing now, we'll be guessing the ingredients, right?
Okay.
I believe that's what we'll be doing. Is there any one particular that you wanted us to try and start with first?
They're all delicious,
All
but I actually
delicious.
don't remember which one went into each box. So
Okay,
this will be a surprise for
it's
me too.
it's a mystery as well.
Yes.
Okay, Alyssa, you can
Okay.
take the first pick.
Okay. We'll go with purple because we were talking
Purple?
about ube earlier.
All right.
Okay.
Grand reveal. Oh, it smells good.
Oh goodness, I'm excited.
That's the reason why I like baking, because the house smells so good usually.
Okay, let's see. All right, any day now, Alyssa. I'm just kidding.
So I'm trying not to fiend for it.
Ooh,
Really
okay,
looks
these
so
are some
yummy.
cookies.
Okay.
We have some cookies so far. I have an initial idea. Oh, let's see if we can open it up a little bit. There we go. Okay, Alyssa, ladies first. And here's napkins as well.
Right over
Oh,
here.
right there, right there. Okay, okay. So we'll be guessing the ingredients for today. I'm not too familiar with a lot of baking ingredients. I just like to taste and eat these things. So, oh, you already started. Wow.
I'm
Okay.
She say she was hungry, so.
Good, good. I can't tell what's in it, but it's good.
I love it. I think I know.
I don't think I know, honestly. Alyssa, do you have any hints or guesses?
Should we start listing off what we think?
Yeah.
I think this is an oatmeal raisin cookie.
Okay, I was gonna say that too, but I don't know what's in it.
Well, she has two of the ingredients so far.
Oatmeal,
Oatmeal.
raisins.
Raisins. I don't think there's any chocolate in here, right? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think you have some cookie on your cheek.
Flour.
Really?
Well, that's actually one way I started too. Is I would start guessing ingredients in places. Like one of the cookies that I love,
Mhm.
I had to look up because I kept buying so many of them. I'm like, this is too expensive for me to keep doing.
Right, right.
So I looked up the ingredients on the internet
Mhm.
and found the recipe because the person had a cookbook. But I would always like, okay, what is in this? What is in this?
Right.
So,
I
Okay.
love how buttery and warm.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
it's like a nice crispy on the outside,
Mhm.
but still very soft and chewy on the inside. I love that type of texture for a cookie. Okay, so ingredients. Raisins. I mean, you can also visibly see the raisin. Raisins, oatmeal. Are there like is there like a type of like nuts in
there's
this?
there are walnuts
Oh,
in there.
walnuts.
Walnut.
And
Okay.
there's actually coconut in that.
Oh, that's what it was.
Okay. I saw like I could see the
Mhm.
like
The outline.
Yeah.
the shreds. Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah.
But I wasn't quite sure. I couldn't taste it too much
Mhm.
actually, but also I don't really eat coconut that
Mhm,
much.
mhm.
But that was very delicious.
Okay.
That was good. Alyssa ate
was-
2 of those already.
I had one actually.
She's saving room for the rest of the
I know.
ingredients.
I know we gotta save our appetite. Okay, so that was very lovely. Next one, let's go with this pink box. It's very nicely presented. Sorry, you could open it up, Alyssa. I don't want to reach over. Let us know if you like oatmeal raisin cookies as well. I don't bake again, but I'm sure that any oatmeal raisin cookies is great. I think I know what this is
I
already.
think I also know what this is. If we can.
Let's see. There we
See
go.
it?
Look how nicely they're presented
I
in there
know.
as well. Okay.
So abundant.
Do any of our behind the scenes helpers want to take one as well? Take a try?
Want to join us?
Oh,
Did you
Ready?
put-
I
you
gave her
get it?
mine.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, did I
Okay.
grab the one
I
you
was
were going
you were
to?
literally gonna
I'm
take the one I
sorry.
took. Okay,
It
ready?
looks so good.
Okay, let's go. I don't even need to say anything.
This is the best breakfast ever.
You just need your coffee.
I know.
I wish this was my Saturday morning every weekend. So I think these are chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, they are.
Are there any other special ingredients in here
There's
aside from flour?
There's actually cocoa nibs in there. So instead of nuts in
Mm.
that, there's cocoa nibs, and that gives it that crunchy texture without having nuts in it.
I was gonna say I noticed like a slight crunchy texture.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have known that it was that.
Mhm.
Wow.
Secret ingredients
Awesome.
revealed. No.
I love how you make these recipes like kind of like you add your own unique flavor to them.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
It's so individualistic.
So
Yeah.
that one is actually the cocoa nibs was originally part of the recipe. What I changed on that is I reduced the sugar,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
and the chocolate chips are actually dark chocolate on that, so it makes it a little less sweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't taste like milk chocolate for sure. I think milk chocolate has a very distinct, like you said, sweetness to it.
Mhm.
But that pairs very, very well together. These are amazing. And like Alyssa just mentioned, you do add your own. Seems like you do add like some uniqueness to the cookies. Like we have the coconut, which is a nice touch to the oatmeal raisin with these as well. Very, very nice. Wouldn't you say so, Alyssa?
I would, but my mouth is full.
All right, all right. Let's go ahead to our last one that we have here. This one is going to be, oh, we have a knife as well,
Ooh,
classic knife.
Yeah. Last one
Excited.
and messier one.
Last one, the messier one. All right. Let's see what we've got here. Is this what I think it is?
I think-
Because if it is, I'm very happy.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
I love, I'm just going to show. I think we just got to show.
Yeah.
All right. Alyssa, if you want to give that a little cut.
You know, I think it's your turn.
Me, my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, if you
It's
insist.
going to be cut in half.
Cut
This
it in
one
half?
is yours. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because I'm going to take it home. I'm just going to cut a small piece for myself, and then Alyssa can get an even smaller piece. No, I'm just kidding. Alyssa, you can get.
I
You wanna-
love the noises.
I know.
It's like those satisfying
Yeah.
videos.
Alyssa, if you want to grab a napkin and grab it. Grab
Is this
that
2
corner piece.
pieces?
The 2 small pieces. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm literally drooling right now.
Well, this
Oh,
one.
thank you. I was going to ask for that piece anyways.
Corner pieces are the best.
Corner pieces are the best. You heard it first. You heard it here first. Corner pieces are confirmed to be the best. These smell so good.
I'm so excited.
Fun fact, I do not have a strong sense of smell. So when I can smell a very pleasant fragrance, I'm happy. Okay, so if you're just tuning in now, you might have missed what our guest Jennifer was telling us earlier during our main discussion. But I believe she did give us a sneak peek of what this is. I'm not even going to say it. I think we just have to try it.
Mhm.
Oh, man. So this is coffee cake. This was the
LAUSD
That's
coffee
right.
cake from way back when.
Alyssa?
If this was at my high school, this was my school district, I would get lunch every day. Just saying.
So
So good.
this was a coffee cake that Jennifer was able to bake. I love cinnamon, so I love I love coffee cake because of that. I love how crunchy that was. Like when we were
That's
cutting
so
into it with a knife, you could hear the crisp top at the of this coffee cake. Very soft and very. That was good. That was good.
It was so. The textures were they were texturing.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed them.
Yeah, it was very, very fun, and thank you also for making these for us. If you don't mind us asking, like, how long did it take you to make these? I know you said cookies are quicker, so I mean, the cookies and the coffee cake. How long was that for you?
The coffee cake takes about 45 minutes to bake, so the prep time for that maybe 10-15 minutes. And then the cookies, usually about 30 minutes. The bake time for that is usually about 12-15 minutes anyway. So again, with the cookies, the nice thing is I can make the dough ahead of time and then refrigerate or freeze it. And so that means those took about 10-12 minutes because it just needs to be sliced up and baked.
Got it. Wow, those were really great. If you had to choose a favorite, I know it's hard because all those were great. I think mine personally, I don't eat oatmeal raisin cookies that much, but the oatmeal raisin was a very, very pleasant surprise for me. That was very, very well done.
You read my mind.
Really?
You read my mind. I was gonna say oatmeal raisin.
Oatmeal
Yeah,
raisin.
I don't actually like oatmeal raisins.
Oh,
My
really?
mom and dad, that's their request. And because of
Oh.
that recipe, every time it's baked, I'm like, I'm eating too many oatmeal raisin cookies. But I can't kind of think they're healthy, right? Oatmeal's
Yeah.
healthy for you, right?
Yeah, oatmeal raisin cookies are probably the healthiest cookie that we can
It is
get.
a breakfast cookie.
There you
I'm
go.
getting that.
Look at that.
Oatmeal.
See, it's never too early for an oatmeal raisin cookie.
Yeah.
All right. That was a very, very fun activity that we had. Thank you for allowing us to try these. Thank you for making it for us. We're not gonna share any with the rest of our crew here today.
Sorry.
Just kidding. Um, super, super fun. Unfortunately, we are going to start up wrapping our show, so we'll stay here for this portion. We do have some highlights of district and local events that we did want to include. Every month, we have local CFO meetings held every first, second, and third weekend of the month. This week for the Kadiwa, the topic was this month for the Kadiwa, the topic was good stress versus bad stress. On June 9, there was also a family Pasugo quiz activity, which was very, very successful for the families in our district. And then this weekend, today and tomorrow, June 15 and 16, there are INC 110 concert auditions. I'll pass it over to Alyssa for the closing remarks of our show.
Again, we would like to thank you, Jennifer, for taking time out of your day to join us on our broadcast this morning and for taking time to bake these yummy goods for us this morning.
You're welcome.
So before we end, we would like to thank our brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our executive minister, our brother Angelo Arano Manalo, our CFO coordinator, brother Hansel De Dios, our district minister, brother Andy Nicholas, our district CFO overseer, and brother Emmanuel Andaya. That is all for that is all for our broadcast this morning. We'd like to go ahead and pass it over to San Diego.